What's up, everybody? This is Info Media Reacts. I'm back at it again with another one. This one caught me off guard. I think I might have missed this one, but I wanted to bring this up. And how many of you out there recognize this man on the screen here? This is Columbus Short. Now, Columbus Short, if as a reminder, is a man who is known for his work for both being a choreographer, an actor. Columbus Short first rose to fame in the early 2000s. And remember, Columbus Short was in that movie, what was that? Stump the Yard, okay? So he's been a fixture in the early part of the 2000s. He's found himself over the years in a lot of controversy, such as right here. TMZ had reported that Columbus Short domestic violence case was dropped, and he said that he never abused a woman. Then, of course, Columbus Short, when this whole situation broke out about P. Diddy, and once again, everybody, never go to a P. Diddy party. I'm just telling you.
Tell the truth.
Remember, Columbus Short was on a podcast, and he spoke about the fact that P. Diddy was trying to groom him, calling him up at night, talking about, what you doing? Come to the hotel. He talked about going to a party where he had a drink and was feeling like the room was spinning. So Columbus Short accused Diddy of trying to groom him. So these are one of the many things that this brother has been involved in, right? And let me just say, he's been no stranger to controversy over the years. But now he was on a previous podcast, and this brother had these words to say. Columbus Short slammed untrainable black women. Columbus Short slams untrainable women, or in this case, black women, let me be exact, in favor of other races. There is no respect of the black man by black women. Now, this is very controversial. He took a lot of heat for coming on a podcast and saying sort of things like this. And one of the things that I do not like, as I have been on the YouTube streets, everybody, what I don't like is this notion of a sex war or a battle of the sexes between black women and black men. I really don't care for it. I don't like it. It sets a bad tone, but we know that there are issues between black men and black women. And there are black men that feel that they just want black women to be feminine. They want them to be cooperative. They want to come home and not have to deal with any drama, any any, back and forth, sort of things like that. And black men say, hey, it's not that we don't want women that are intelligent, that are educated, but that's not the first criteria that some black men, or most black men in general, I'm generalizing here, look for is their top criteria for the type of woman that they want. They want intelligence, but they want to know how that woman makes them feel at home. Is she mother quality? Is that woman someone that he would take home to meet his mother, father, and family, and so on and so forth, right? And so Columbus Short jumped out the window and had choice words to say about black women. And he even admitted on the podcast that he knew that black women were going to rake him over the coals. And, sometimes some things that we say can get us in a lot of trouble, especially if you're a celebrity or a well-known person. And it didn't go over too well with the females. This man has already been, over the years, entangled in situations where women have accused him of certain behaviors. And I just want to say this, as he was on this podcast, because I'm going to show you, we're going to react to the video clips. As he was on this show, this podcast, and going on about black women and a whole issue over black women not needing a man, and the single black woman, the independent black woman, the modern day black woman who has her car, has her own apartment, her house, master's degree, PhD, BA degree, whatever you want to call it, okay, that they seem to not feel like, hey, they need a man. This is sort of the stuff that Columbus Short was saying. It's certainly a sentiment that some black men have, especially on social media. and some off of social media. And then there's some men who don't have problems with women because they have whatever it takes to get the women that they want. And there's some guys that just can't for whatever the reasons. There's just so many ways you can look at this. And I'm not here to make judgment. I'm here to simply say, when you hear what he has to say and you watch this video, I want you to make your own opinions in the comment section about what you think is going on here. Meaning, do you agree with where Columbus Short is, what he's saying, or do you disagree and feel it's totally disrespectful? He needs to shut up his mouth, what have you? Or do you think there's some truth to what he's saying? Just either way, excuse me, I like to see where everybody feels on this issue. So let's go ahead and play the first clip of Columbus Short. Wow, man, I tell you, it's going to get hot in the kitchen here. It's going to get really hot in the kitchen. And let's just go ahead and go on with it. Let's get hot in the kitchen, y'all. Come on, let's do it.
Thousands, and these women are Black women, were raised by single mothers, absentee fathers that are either incarcerated, dead, or just gone.
Now I want to stop it right there. That seems to be one of the themes that you often hear in these conversations. The single Black mother raising either a son, a daughter, or both, and that he's trying to put forth the fact that these are women that were raised without a father. And I got to be honest, having a father in your life as a strong figure actually is good for both the son and the daughter. And there are stats out there. There are people who have said that when females have a father in their life, they tend to do better in their relationships with men or how they look at men. And there are people that believe that if you don't have a father in a household who has some authority, then maybe you won't respect the authority of a man in your life, a boyfriend, a potential husband, or you may not respect in general the authority of a man in general. Now, boys can be affected by this as well when they don't have a father in their life as well. But let's continue on with this. But this is where he's going. This is fair use, everybody.
Fathers that are either incarcerated, dead, or just gone.
Talk about it.
That their mama said, you don't need no, you don't need no man. You can do it by yourself.
Boom. Now, let me say this right here. That is something that I've heard said within the Black community, where you've had women say that they don't need a man, right? And I'm just going to tell you straight up, point blank. I don't think that it was meant for any human person, man or woman, to be on this earth to be alone. When you look around in nature, everything has a mate. Hell, the ants, the bees, the flies, the worms, everything, animals, horses, giraffes, elephants, they all, tigers and lions, monkeys and so forth, they all have a mate. They all procreate. They all have a mate. They all create families, even the bugs on the ground. So this is where I stand on this ground and say that Black women, when you say you don't need, that's not the truth. You were not built and designed, both man and woman, to be alone, period. Now, maybe what women really should be saying is that they don't need a man that doesn't have his shit together, a man that drags them down, a man that's not ambitious, a man that's not confident, a man that doesn't stand strong 2 or 10. I said 2, everybody. I really mean a man that stands 10 toes down in the soil. Okay, maybe that's what women should be mantraing about, and not this whole thing about I'm gonna be alone, I can do it all by myself. No man and no woman is an island to themselves forever. Okay, let's continue. This is powerful stuff here.
No man, you can do it by yourself. So that energy.
Woo, this is giving me chills.
That energy comes into the home. They're not, what you talking about? Unless you giving me this, doing that, there's no respect of the man.
Now, Columbus Short, ladies, I know you've jumped all over him. He's been taking a beating on social media about these statements he's made, but I'm just asking the question, is Columbus Short correct when he says that if you have the attitude that you don't need a man, that you are completely independent of a man, will that manifest an attitude towards a man who is trying to take his natural place as a man in the household? Will it create a conflict? I'm simply asking the question. You leave the comments and let me know.
The black man in that by black women. And I'm not, black women, do not be mad at me.
They're going to be mad,
I'm not talking about all of y'all. I'm saying
they're going to be mad.
There's a majority of you guys that were that was raised without a father, so you have no respect for that.
Boom. Now the question I ask again. You heard Columbus Short say out of his mouth that he's not saying all black women, but he's saying that there's some or a majority that may not have been raised by a father or respect the image of a father in the household that they never had, and they may bring certain energy. Is he right or is he wrong? You let me know again in the comment section.
So what's the difference?
Okay.
Well,
let me say this really quick because I know
I want to stop that right there and play that part again. Let's just play it back a little bit here. This is interesting stuff.
That energy comes into the home. They're not, what you talking about? Unless you giving me this, doing that, there's no respect of the man.
Do you believe, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and men, that if a woman has an attitude like, what are you doing for me attitude? First of all, a relationship and a marriage. Now, this is the question I'm going to ask. People always say that marriage and relationship should be 50-50. My question is that really true when men and women have different functions? Yes, we can work together in the household, help each other, right? Take care of each other, keep the house clean. There's certain things that we can all do in unison as a couple in marriage, but biologically and physically, and I don't want to sound sexist here, men and women were created for different functions. I just want to be fair about that. Am I right or wrong? Were men and women were not created for the same function. We have different skill sets. Obviously, a man cannot give birth to a child. Obviously, women in general don't have the sort of physical strength that men have, which is why a long time ago, thousands of years ago, men were gather hunters. Women were nurturers of the children. They're the first teacher of a child. There's an old saying, if you have a finger popping woman, you'll have a finger popping child, meaning a child. If a woman is looking at soap operas and she'll feed that into the child, right? So in hunter-gatherer type culture, the man had to go out and hunt, create shelter, and to protect the woman and the children. That's been historically the role of a man, to protect, provide shelter, comfort, and security.
Tell the truth.
We have different functions, but of course in the 21st centuries, a lot of things have changed. So I just wanted to lay that out as we go back to Columbus Short here, because I want to just play a little bit of this again, because it really strikes a chord, as they say. Let's get back.
Tell the truth. Man, you can do it by yourself. So that energy
this is giving me chills.
That energy comes into the home. They're not, what you talking about? Unless
let me know in the comment section of this video again, is Columbus Short right that energy comes into the household if a woman has an attitude? Now let's keep this fair now. A man has to live up to his responsibilities as well if he expects the woman to see him in a certain light. You can't be a buster. You can't be musty, crusty, and dusty as well. As a man, you must be certified as what a man is and what a woman is expecting of you, as well as what you're expecting of her. All right, tell the truth. Tell the truth here. You don't want to be musty and dusty and crusty. But let's get back.
You giving me this, doing that. There's no respect of the man, the black man, in that by black women, and I'm not black women.
Now, I'm going to say this. There are certainly black men who feel that they're not getting respect. How can I say this? That they're not receiving or feel like they're respected by their community, particularly their women, right? And then there are men who do feel respected. And then there are women who do give respect to black men. Given what, see, this is the area that Columbus Short falls short, okay? And this is the area that he falls short in.
Tell the truth.
There's different relationship dynamics. There's different community dynamics. There are different dynamics within the household. There's a thing called power dynamics. Women respect the power dynamic of a man who has himself together with confidence, but he's a go-getter and doer, right? Now, is he right in general that black men in general don't feel respected? Now, we know in a larger society, we often face a lot of racism, prejudice, stereotypes of black men that we're all criminals, that we're all in jail, we're all on drugs. So when black men go out into the world, we already face a society that doesn't give us respect. And the one place we would want respect would be in our household, because as they said back in the day, a house is a man's castle. I just got to say that, okay? Just have to, tell the truth. Let's get back.
Do not be mad at me.
They're gonna be mad.
I'm not talking about all of y'all. I'm saying
they're gonna be mad.
There's a majority of you guys that was raised without a father, so you have no respect for that. So what's the difference?
Okay.
Well,
let me say this really quick, because I know my fan base and I know these people.
Let me stop it right there. So everybody, definitely let me know how you feel about Columbus Short saying the things that he said. And once again, like I said, the man's had some baggage. He's had some relationships, situations where women have accused him of things. This is another area that I want to go into. This is going to be controversial, what I'm going to say. I often wonder, when you have people who date interracially outside their race, they're always the first to have something to say about their race in a negative way. So while Columbus Short is talking about black women, he's already made his choices because he's married to a non-black woman. So I'm sure black women out there are saying, well, this Negro ain't even married. Okay.
Tell the truth.
He's not even married to a black woman. He's married to someone, I believe his wife is Middle Eastern or something of that nature. I'm not too sure. I think she's Middle Eastern, but he's not married to a black woman. So why is he on a podcast talking about women or black women when he's not even with a black woman at this current time? Now, he has had experiences with black women in the past. Let me show you this right here. This is an article. This is his first wife. Columbus Short records wife's fight with alleged mistress. So back in some time ago, this was back in 2014, apparently they were accusing Columbus Short of having a mistress, and that his wife currently, who you see there on the picture, was a black woman. Back in 2014, there was an allegation that she got into a fight with Columbus Short's, I would say, a side piece. Now, let me not be disrespectful, but the current wife that he has right now, I wonder, now I could be wrong, no disrespect to him, but I just wonder if this woman may possibly be the side chick that his wife here from 2014, who obviously is a black woman, was she the current wife, the side chick? I just wonder. But as you can see, he had a wife that was black. But I find it interesting when these guys talk about, or anybody, a woman or a black man, or a woman a black woman, a black man. I just find it interesting that when they get involved in their interracial relationships, now they want to talk greasy and cheesy about the women, particularly black women in this case. Or if you have black women who date interracially, now they want to talk down on black men when they've already made their choice that they want to be with someone of another race. So I don't understand why he even had to go there when he ain't even sleeping black. He's not waking up in the bed with a black woman as he used to, but he's waking up in a bed with someone that he's in an interracial marriage with. Just something I wanted to bring up there to you all, just to give you more food for thought. Let's go over to another issue right now. Now, when he went on that podcast and had so much to say about, black
thousands,
women.
and these women are black women, were raised by single mothers, absentee fathers.
Now, once again, is there some truth to what he is saying in some of the stuff? But he caught so much bad press about this. I mean, on social media, of course, especially by black women, that this was later posted. Columbus Short apologizes for remarks about black women. I should have been smarter. He's regretting getting on that podcast and saying the things that I just played for you. Here is a video that he put out in giving a full apology to black women. And I'm asking you, when you watch this, leave a comment in the comment section as to whether you also believe that he was sincere in his apology. So let's get it right now. Listen to this.
This morning, I woke up to a lot of comments about a podcast I did last Friday, and I realized that I seriously offended my black women in a way that was not intended. I think that clip was taken out of context. I know.
Now, don't you find it interesting that when people say something and then they get raked over the coals for it, it's always the typical thing that people always say. It's so much that you got to laugh to keep from crying. And that is,
tell the truth.
I was taken out of context. Sometimes we can run our mouth off like diarrhea of the mouth, right? And we get caught up into the moment and say a lot of things that we want to take back, or that we say to ourselves, man, I don't like the way I said that. I could have said it this way. And I think Columbus Short is having one of those moments.
I seriously offended my black women in a way that was not intended. I think that clip was taken out of context. I know that was clickbait because the full answer to the question, which was, why are black men dating outside of their race, marrying outside of their race? And my answer was lengthy, but that clip was sizzling.
And remember, he's dating outside of his race. And remember, he actually was married to a black woman in 2014. There was some allegations of her getting into a fight with a mistress that he had. This is laying on the line, but since he's saying, why do black men date out of their race? And he's obviously dating out of his race, or not just dating out of his race. He has married out of his race. And, more power to him. He has the right to be with whoever he wants to be with. That's his business. We're not really here to judge, but just to simply lay the facts out as they are. So let's go ahead and get back to this.
Yes, and should have been smarter in not falling into those traps. But the real answer was I was talking about the new generation and social media and the entitlement and how, being raised by a single black woman, as millions of us others were and have been, the absentee father, the absence of a father in a home, forced black moms to teach young women and their young men, be independent. You don't need a man.
Let me stop it right there. Now, he is right. Having no father in the household is bad for the son the female, it really is bad. Now he stands on strong ground with those thoughts, because there's a lot of black men that feel the same way. I feel the same way. It's important to have both the balance of a female energy with male energy in the household for your child, because it's the yin and yang that balances your child out. Your child should be raised with the feminine energy as well as the masculine energy to balance them out. Let's get back to what he was saying.
Do it, you know, you could do it on your own, which then, as us being grown now, black men only knowing how to provide and protect, and when that's removed, kind of finding our space and what that means for us, it was deeper than that answer. And I am truly sorry if that offended anybody. You know, I wish it was taken in context, but you know, my opinion is not always necessary.
All right. Now, Columbus Short, as I said before, he gave his apology. Let me know if in the comment section if you take sincerely what he is saying is it is sincere. Let me also give you another perspective. I'm going to put up a sister here. She has a YouTube channel, and she's going to talk about the whole issue around the educated black woman, the independent black woman, and what men usually are looking for in relationships. Let me just see what she's saying right here, and you give your opinion about whether you agree with her or you disagree with her.
You know, you have to be assertive. There's a lot of skills that you attain as a college student and as a black woman. And oftentimes these same skills that you attain in the academy work well in the academy, but do not work as well in relationships.
Now, what is this sister talking about? She's basically talking about that, you know, obviously black women are getting more degrees, master's degrees, PhDs, and are going into nursing, STEM, and things of that nature, science. And she's saying that, yeah, the skills that you attained in your education and the skills that you need to work in these high-tech jobs and work in corporate America doesn't necessarily translate to being a wife and being with a husband, a man, when you go home. A man, when he comes home, he does not want to come home to your job. He wants you to be that feminine, that cooperative, that beautiful woman that you are, a woman that brings him comfort, a woman that brings him peace. Okay. And she's saying it doesn't translate over what you're learning in school and what you're doing on your job. But let's continue.
There's also something called compartmentalizing, which men do quite naturally and very well. And it is something that women struggle with. It could also be that women of other races and other cultures are socialized to compartmentalize in a way that black women were not. What does compartmentalizing look like? Well, as an example, is that if you are a boss, if you're a CEO, you're a director, if you're a corporate executive, if you're a doctor, like Dr. Jen, who you saw a clip of, it means that, you know, you have to be able to step outside of one leadership role and in relationship, be willing to step into a different role.
Boom. Do you agree with her? Let me just break it down. Basically, again, if you are the supervisor, the boss, the sister in charge at work, you've got the degrees, you got the education. Are you willing to change your role when you go home? Obviously, your husband does not want a boss at home. You do not have to be the CEO at home. A man is looking for a certain level of comfort at home. So can you interchange your roles from your professional life into your personal life with your mate, your husband, the person that you love, that you're in a relationship with? Let me know if what she's saying makes sense to you. Now, let's go to another clip as we get ready to end this reaction video today. This one, the sister says some things that was going to get under some people's skin. So just listen to what she's saying. And if you agree or disagree, let it be known in the comment section. Let's put this up here. it's very polarizing what she's about to say. Here we go.
Disturbing is that every nationality of women, except for so-called black women, understand their roles and understand why they were created. The so-called white woman know why she was created: to be a wife, to be a mother, to help her husband, to help guide her house and assist where he needs help. The Asian woman understand that, Arab woman understand that, the East Indian woman understand that, so on and so forth. It's only the so-called black woman that does not understand why she was created. And it's simple. You was literally created.
Let me just stop right there. I know some of you out there listening to this will probably say, I disagree with her. Then it's going to be some of you out there going to say, she's right on, the sister's right on. Let me just say this, because nothing is an absolute. Obviously, there are women out here who don't understand those roles that she's talking about, the traditional roles. And obviously, there are some women that do. I don't ever say anything is an absolute. It's not everybody, because you don't know everybody, right? So certainly there are women who do not know their roles or do not adhere to those things that she's talking about. They don't even think about it, right? And then there are some women that see what she's saying as important in their life, in a relationship, in a marriage. Just keep that in mind as she has said what she has just said.
Understand that, so on and so forth. It's only the so-called black woman that does not understand.
I would say that it's some black women that may not understand what you're saying, sister. I would not say it's all. Once again, you should never make anything absolute. But let's continue.
Why she was created. And it's simple. You was literally created to be a wife, to be a mother, to be a helpmeet to your husband, to love him, to love your children, to guide the house and shine in your road. That's simple. Everything outside of that, you have been deceived and indoctrinated by the so-called white man.
Now, let me stop it right there. How many of you out there agree with what she just said? That as a woman, you were created to be a helpmate, to raise the children, to be nurturing, to build a society, to be in partnership, to be loving, nurturing, building family, legacy. Do you agree with what she just said? Make sure you put comments in the comment section of this video. And most of all, I want to thank you all by saying thank you for watching this video. Make sure you subscribe. Let me give you a clap. Subscribe to the channel. Thank you again for watching. And I must say again, ladies and gentlemen, make sure that you let someone know about the channel. Share this video at all of your social media. Share it at all your social media. Tell someone about the channel, the Info Media Reaction channel. If you are a content creator, put this video in your community tab to share it with your audience. I really would appreciate that. Thank you for all your support, everybody out there. I know this was a polarizing, controversial video that I'm doing, but I told you that we are going to cover controversial and polarizing topics on this particular channel. So everybody out there, you take care. Much love to you. This has been, I'll see you again very soon on the YouTube streets. And as they say, you know, everybody's got their opinions, and I want to hear what your opinions are too. With that said, everybody take care.